Hi, I'm Greg Sherman. When you think about high school soccer success in San Antonio, the Northeast Independent School District has had most of that success. The Madison girls won state championships in 1991 and 1993, the only girls state soccer champions from San Antonio. And on the boys' side, NEISD had a lot of success in the early 2000s as well. 2001, Churchill state champions. 2002, Reagan state champions. 2003, Churchill state champions. 2004, Reagan lost in the finals to the #1 team in the nation, the Coppell Cowboys. Those Reagan teams coached by the legendary Walter Rule. The Reagan Rattlers of 2018 had a team that was more than built to get back to Georgetown. Just one regular season loss and a slew of success on the pitch, both on offense and defense, led many to believe that Reagan would find their way back to the championships as they look to their past for that success. After blasting Leander in round 1, the Rattlers beat San Antonio Clark in the second round. The significance of that match? Clark was coached by Walter Rule. Yes, the same Walter Rule that led Reagan to all that success in the early 2000s. It turned out it was Rule's final match as he retired after the season. On to round 3, the Rattlers played Austin Lake Travis at the home of the Rattlers. That would be the San Marcos Rattlers. The Cavaliers were the only team to beat Reagan during the regular season, but the Rattlers beat the 2016 state semifinalists in a shootout, winning the PKs 4-2, thanks to a couple of huge saves by keeper Eugene Albo. In round 4, Reagan beat La Jolla Juarez Lincoln, the 2017 state semifinalists 2-0. That set up a quarterfinal match with district rival Lee. The Rattlers shut out the Volunteers twice in district play, and Albo shut out Lee one more time, but Lee did dominate the time of possession. However, a header by Sergio Gonzalez in the 70th minute gave Reagan a 1-0 win and a return trip back to the semifinals. The Rattler baseball team waited to greet and congratulate their peers on the soccer team. The Rattler baseball team went to the state finals themselves in 2017. As for Reagan soccer, their opponent in the semis was none other than Coppell, the same school that beat the Rattlers in the 2004 gold medal match and won 2 other state titles since, were waiting for Reagan. The Cowboys hadn't allowed a single goal during the knockout rounds and only 12 the whole season. For a match report, let's check in with my colleague, Jeff Power.
The 18-1-7 Reagan Rattlers squared off with the 22-2-3 Coppell Cowboys here at Birkelback Field in Georgetown. Needless to say, with 3 state championships already under their belt, the Cowboys were heavy favorites going up against the Rattlers in this semifinal matchup.
Reagan boys head soccer coach Gilbert Villareal felt confident his Rattlers matched up well with the nationally ranked Cowboys, who scored the game's first goal. But the Rattlers had their chances in the first half as well. Check out the perfect pass to Santi De La Torre, who strikes the ball beautifully, but Coppell goalie Austin Simeon makes the leaping deflection. The combination of De La Torre and Miguel Leyva at the forward position was evident throughout as the Rattlers used good ball movement just before the half. Leyva's shot goes high, and Reagan trailed 1-0 at the 10-minute break. Whatever was said by Coach Villareal at halftime needs to be bottled up because the Rattlers struck early and often in the second half. De La Torre scored the equalizer on this deflection from the Coppell goalie to tie it at 1 just 45 seconds into the second half. About 2 minutes later, Leyva connected nicely on a 25-yard penalty kick to give Reagan a 2-1 lead. The bench went wild, and it was game on, Cowboys.
The first goal, he was just there. I got the ball back, and I saw that a few people were making a run into the back, so I just decided to hit the ball in. And fortunately, went over the keeper, and he was there to tap it in. And then the free kick that I had on the second goal, I've been practicing those for ever since I was a little kid, so I decided to take the opportunity and put it away.
Miguel, he's when you have a kid that can hit a free kick, it's always really nice. And so I was telling Coach Foss, who deserves a lot of credit also, that right before he kicked it, the other day in practice, he hit that same thing. So we've seen him do it. He's gotten unlucky, and gotten close. And so for him to do it in the state semifinal, what a great, effort by that kid.
Check out the Reagan defense as they make the stop. Then it's time to go. The pass to Alec De Leon, and he's got speed to burn. The Coppell defense eventually made De Leon change position, and that would set the play up deep in Cowboys country. The pass to Emiliano Alcantara, he dribbles up and then sets up the combination of Santi De La Torre and Miguel Leyva once again. These two did their magic, and poof, just like that, your ball game. A 3-1 lead with just minutes remaining, and the Rattlers were headed to the state final with a 2-goal victory. Let's listen in to the support of Rattler Nation.
You can't judge a player by his size, or what you see. And so, Santi is really special for us. He goes and goes and goes, and he's extremely talented on the ball. And, people, I think, kind of overlook him a little bit. And, he proved tonight what kind of player he is.
I'm just happy to get those goals and hoping this team, it's been amazing. No, we're definitely not finished. We're here to win state, and no one really had us winning this game. And we've been through that through the whole playoffs, and we carried it through the whole game.
Yes, sir. We're ready for anyone that comes through. We'll be ready.
Coach Villareal lets his goalie Luis Salgado know how proud he is of him and the entire Reagan team effort.
Once again, your final score, 3-1. Reagan upsets the Coppell Cowboys.
Thanks, Jeff. Against the Cowboys, Reagan scored 3 second-half goals. Coppell hadn't allowed 3 goals in a match, much less a half the entire season. In fact, Reagan scored 2 goals in 3 minutes, 3 and 32, after the Cowboys allowed 2 total the previous 931 minutes, spanning across 13 matches. It was also the first time in 3 years that Coppell blew a halftime lead, as Reagan improved to 3-0 all-time in the state semifinals in boys soccer. In the other semifinal, Alief Elsik out of the Houston area, considered the #1 team in the nation, beat Irving High 3-1 to set up the gold medal match between the Alamo City and H-Town.
I couldn't ask for anything better. I mean, the last 2 seasons went to the regional final, lost second round, so getting here to the state final, it's a great season, great end to the season.
Since probably the Lake Travis game, people didn't believe in us, but we didn't care about that. We just played our game and kept going on.
As the teams took the pitch for the title bout, manager Gilbert Villareal gave his troops their marching orders and a few words of inspiration.
Good? Sir, tonight. All right? Tonight. Get a drink, be ready. Go. Get a drink, be ready to go.
The match started under sunny skies, but the storm clouds known as the Rams were bubbling up, and the storm hit early. 5th minute, Alba with the big save, but it wouldn't take long for Elsik to force the Rattlers into a critical mistake. 13th minute, Elsik's Maino Linares was taken down in the penalty box. Referee Joel McKell awarded the Rams a penalty kick. Jose Umana potted the kick past Albo to give Elsik a 1-0 lead. Look again as the keeper guessed right, nearly had the save, but the ball bounced off his arm and went up into the goal.
You can't expect a keeper to save a PK. Him getting as close as he did was amazing, but we shouldn't have had to put him in that position in the first place.
It took the Rattlers nearly a half hour into the match before they were finally able to start pressuring Elsik's keeper, Elias Zamora. 28th minute, the free kick missed just wide. 35th minute, Alex Salgado with the nice shot, but Zamora was there with a nice save. And the score stayed 1-0 Elsik at intermission. As the sun set on the day, Reagan did all they could in the second half to keep the sun from setting on their state championship chances, but they would catch a big break from the soccer gods in the second half. 46th minute, Miguel Leyva had a free kick from 34 yards out. It made it past the defenders, but Zamora read it like a radar beam and knocked the ball away. Later in the half, Elsik had a player sent off for 2 yellows, meaning that Reagan would have the man advantage for the final half hour of the match. 61st minute, off the corner, Jacob Galan nearly headed in the tying goal, but it was 2 ball lengths outside the post. 65th minute, another corner kick for Reagan. Ricky Cruz had the ball on his cleat, but couldn't find the handle. The final 10 minutes seemed like a fog for both teams. Thanks to the man advantage, Elsik couldn't get the ball out of their own end, but Reagan couldn't get the tying goal. 71st minute, Fabrizio Bernal right in the goal area, but the ball skipped away, and oh, Reagan was that close. 74th minute, Bernal header just wide of the target. He tried his hardest, but the soccer gods just couldn't let the ball bounce into the net. 79th minute, great drilling by Santi Della Torre, but Zamora with one more big save, and time ran out on Reagan.
We had a couple really good chances in the second half. Those types of chances have been going in, for us a lot. And tonight they didn't go in.
Soccer, you play. One team might get better chances than the others, but you don't know, the team with the most chances doesn't always win.
The Rattlers peppered Zamora with shots all throughout the second half, 9 in total, but just could not get the equalizer as Elsik completed an undefeated season and the Rattlers finished just short of the Golden Trapezoid.
All the credit to their team, their coaches. They have a great team. They scored in every single game all year. They're undefeated, and it's only the third time all year that they've been held to one goal. So for it to be a PK, I'm obviously proud of my guys, but it hurts.
I think we didn't finish our chances, but the team fought until the end, and that's what matters.
Too bad we couldn't get the win, but it's still a great season.
I told my guys just right now that at some point in the future, maybe not the near future, but they'll look back and be proud of themselves and proud of what they accomplished this year.
We're just going to remember the brotherhood and the memories that you made together, and so when I look back on this, I mean, it was just another soccer game tonight, and we went out there to win, and we fell short, but the fight that everyone went out with was what will stick with me forever.
3 Reagan Rattlers were named to the All-State soccer team: Jacob Galan, defender; Santi Della Torre, midfielder; and Michael Morel, also a midfielder. Although the Rattlers didn't win the ultimate prize in the state championship, they still had a great run on the year, losing just 2 matches on the season. The only 2 losses Reagan has ever had in the state finals or semifinals were to teams ranked #1 in the nation that did not lose a match the entire year. I'm Greg Sherman.